Today's video is brought to you by Beautiful Halo, and you can get some good quality anime merch for really good prices, and also you can get a discount with the code MEME on your next $49 plus order. You can get 5% off with the code MEME, MEME, and on your next $99 plus order you can get 10% off with the code MEME, MEME, link in the description. Welcome back, guys. This is the King of Weaves here, and man is gassed. Two of yous have went ham and bought on Beautiful Halo, and I get a bit of that share. Of course, that's going to go into my gaming channel because I need to make more videos on it, and the more you guys buy or from Beautiful Halo, and the more you guys donate on streams, from now on I actually don't want anyone to donate on through YouTube, but actually for PayPal. So my YouTube channel, my other YouTube channel, I can actually increase the videos there because the budget isn't cheap, and plus it's not that I can't make videos for free. It's just that sometimes you see you got to invest in some things. But anyways, I'm not saying you guys have to. And plus on Beautiful Halo, if you buy something, not only will you support the channel, but also you can actually get yourself some good quality anime merch. Some people have gotten some merch, and one person has got an SAO hoodie, which I would like myself. Of course I might get myself maybe another day, but not today, because I'm kind of poor right now. Anyway, yes, I am broke after those two videos that I uploaded on the YouTube channel. Anyways, now I've been rambling on. But anyways, this is What If Naruto Went Dark Part 1 remake, and last time we left off with Naruto and wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, I'm confused. I'm thinking I'm continuing a series. My bad, guys. This is What If Naruto Went Dark Part 1, and of course, begin now, and this is not last time we left off with, but anyway, so we begin this wife as per normal. Naruto actually being lonely as usual, and here Naruto has been, abused to an extent where he literally has no feelings remaining. But anyways, Naruto just goes on with life as he has to, since really he can't. He just hopes that one day he will be able to, not get revenge, but at least make a few friends, since he has pretty much no friends. But anyways, of course, Naruto is walking through the village one day, and he actually sees a stray cat. Of course, the cat is injured, and Naruto actually wants to help the cat out by actually taking it to the Hokage, and the Hokage helps Naruto heal it and everything, bandage up, and Naruto asks if he can keep it. Of course, Naruto being a 4-year-old, the Hokage can't really say no to that, and he knows that Naruto has no one in his life, and so he actually says, alright, you can have it. And so Naruto and the cat, Naruto takes it everywhere with him, and he feeds it. He even though he doesn't have much money, he doesn't care. He cares about his cat more than himself at this point. But anyways, of course, Naruto has still been bullied multiple times, and one of these times, the cat was actually watching. The cat did not want to see Naruto, his owner, and the person that saved his own life, get bullied like this, or get abused, since the cat itself got abused from its last owner. But anyways, since it did not want to see its owner get abused like this, he actually came in the way, which actually pissed off the older the adult, and the adult actually stepped on the cat until the cat literally didn't have anything left. Literally his skull got it cracked by actually being stomped on, and Naruto saw this, and Naruto wasn't having it. Naruto, like, he had nothing to begin with, and now the people of this village are taking the only things that Naruto actually had, and everything is gone from him. Everything been taken away. It's like he was born to have nothing, and Naruto wasn't having it. After this, Naruto actually realized how corrupted this world is. Like, if one is not liked by the people in its village, he will be hated up until everything is taken away from him or her. And Naruto is that I've had enough. And the Naruto actually saw this, saw Naruto being angry as hell, and he actually capitalized on this and actually took this to his to his own advantage, and actually used Naruto's anger and fueled it even more with his own chakra. And Naruto lost it and went into his one tails form, even not one tails but just the cloak form, the cloaked one, no tails, just the cloak that he gave to everyone. I'm pretty sure the cloak that he gave to everyone in the Shinobi Alliance had no tails. If he did, please correct me in the comments below. I haven't made too much research on it, to be honest. But anyways, of course, the cloak that Naruto got had no tails because Naruto's body could not handle the amount of chakra the One Tails cloak gave him, and the amount of power. His body would have had some kind of organ failure, since it's still a young body, it's a 4-year-old's body. And the Nine Tails, if he kills his own host, he will be the one affected the most. Of course Naruto is dead, but he will he will basically whatever, he will have to wait a few decades to actually regenerate, since his host died, with the tail beast still being inside of him or her. But anyways, now of course Naruto, who was actually pretty pissed, attacked the villager, and actually killed the villager with cold blood. Of course Naruto didn't know what he was doing, but still he killed the villager nonetheless. And the villager screamed in pain and agony, just like the cat did. The cat was screeching in pain once the villager actually stomped on him. But anyways, of course, now Naruto, that after killing the villager, he got his revenge, and he was just looking at the villager, and the screams were heard all around the village. Like, they were so loud, like they were so painful that everyone in the village could hear it. And Naruto, of course, people actually rushed towards Naruto. A few ninjas actually came in the way. A few jonins were there. They got worried on what was happening, and so they actually neutralized Naruto by actually taking him out, not killing him or anything, but neutralizing him fully, so he could not hurt anyone else. And Naruto was taken to a cell, yes, a literal cell, because he was a threat at this point, and the village did not want to endanger its its citizens, or its not villagers, not citizens. Am I retarded? Yes, I am. Anyways, now of course Naruto, who was in prison, he asked where his cat was to the Hokage, and the Hokage just looked down and said he's so sorry, and it's his fault that this will happen. And basically Naruto then says, just tell me where my cat is. And basically Naruto can't remember much, but then the Hokage said that the cat is dead. The villager that he killed killed it, and Naruto lost it and allowed the Nine Tails. Well, he didn't really allow it, but the Nine Tails used him. Yes, Naruto actually was told that he has the Nine Tails at this point, because there was no hiding it. People who didn't know that Naruto had the Nine Tails now knew, because of Naruto literally killing someone with its power. But anyways, of course, now Naruto, who was on his own, and he was actually allowed the cell. People were scared of Naruto. They're like, why was he allowed out? And of course, the Hokage can't really keep Naruto in the cell forever, especially because it's not even Naruto's fault. The villagers started this, and pissed off Naruto to an extent that the Nine Tails took advantage of Naruto's anger and agony to actually use his body however the Nine Tails wanted to use it. But anyways, of course, now that Naruto's out, Naruto could see the hateful looks. They weren't just looks of concern or disgust, but they were actually fearful, hateful, and they wanted Naruto dead at this point. That literally they don't want to have anything to do with Naruto. They don't want Naruto in the village at all anymore, and they can't like even being near him. it just brings disgust in their eyes, and their faces change from a happy face to once they see him, and nah fam, I'm going the other way, G, I ain't getting killed tonight. And anyways, of course, Naruto could see this, and at first he was like, it's not even my fault, and he says that the villager actually deserved it for killing his cat. But then a few years passed after this, and Naruto has lost all types of emotions. He's fully emotionless, and even when he saw Hinata getting bullied and everything, my guy, he's a who cares? And he just allowed Hinata to get bullied, and then Rock Lee actually came to actually help. Hinata, Rock Lee was passing. Rock Lee, of course, passed a bit after Naruto did. But anyways, of course, now Naruto, who was pretty much emotionless, he's now 8 years old, and Naruto hasn't trained in anything other than being emotionless, and he has been reading a few scrolls. He hasn't really tried them out, but he has knowledge about a lot of things that normal kids his age don't, especially about ninjas. But anyways, of course, Naruto, being pretty dark, having a pretty dark look to him. He's not wearing his orange clothes, which bring attention to him like he used to, because he wanted people's attention, because he had none before, and he wanted to be loved basically. But now he doesn't really care. He wants to stand. He does not want to stand out. He just wants to blend in with just the crowd, and your everyday crowd, and just be ignored as per normal. And and the villagers are actually happy about it, because they don't need to worry about Naruto, because he doesn't care about them. But at the same time, some are fearful that Naruto doesn't care about anything other than himself, so he might just go rogue one day and just kill all of them, which Naruto was thinking of. But then he realized that he can't really do that, and he does have a goal in his life, but of course that goal is nothing to do with the villagers. Of course, his goal is actually to leave the village one day and just be the person he wanted to be all along. But of course, that can't really happen. Naruto knows that himself, because of him losing all sorts of emotions. Like literally, he doesn't have any kind of emotions at this point. Literally, no pain, no fear, no happiness, no sadness, nothing. Like literally, Naruto's lost everything, and by everything I mean everything. His feelings, the only person, the only thing, the only animal. Like, man didn't even love a person, man loved the animal, and he lost it. But anyways, of course, now Naruto, he was on his own, actually heading towards the academy. Of course, the people, well, the kids actually were running away from Naruto, to be honest. And the only two people who didn't really care, and they actually, after finding out from their parents what truly happened with Naruto, were of course Shikamaru and Choji. And they knew the whole truth, that Naruto only did it because of him losing control after he got pissed off, and he was sad about the only thing that he had in his life, the only living being that he loved, and the only human being that actually tried, no, not a human being, but the only living being that actually tried to help Naruto, and Naruto actually loved, was a cat, was an animal, and Naruto lost it. Now, anyways, of course, Naruto wasn't really going to try to make any friends, to be honest, because he really doesn't care. He just doesn't want to get close to anyone at all. He doesn't think they're going to die or anything. He just really hates people. Yes, he hates humanity as a whole, and so he tries his best to stay away from most people. And now that he's in the academy, of course, he can't really avoid it, because of him being in the freaking academy, and there are people around him who of course are freaking humans. But anyways, of course, now Naruto, anywho, now, oh sorry, 1 second. Naruto, who actually is and if I sound a bit weird, a bit of a disclaimer, I'm actually using my retainers, so if it sounds like I have a lisp, I'm sorry. Anywho, Now, Naruto spends most of his academy days on his own, after school, just goes off on his own, doesn't really care, really. And now, of course, Shikamaru and Choji can actually see that Naruto has not really been making any friends. He doesn't even eat that much, especially because Naruto is actually saving up money to actually one day travel the world, leave the village, just find a home in a different place, somewhere that he won't be hated as much. But anyways, now Naruto, who has been on his own for a while, of course, he hasn't really been talking to too many people over the past 2 years. Yes, Naruto is now 10, and it's not fun. It's not fun at all for Naruto. Literally, he's been alone for all this time, and he's pretty much isolating himself. He's not really talking to anyone, not even Iruka. Like, usually you'd think that he would talk at least to Iruka, right? But no, he really doesn't care. He doesn't even talk to Iruka. He doesn't talk to any of his classmates at all, and he just stays alone. Of course, Choji and Shikamaru actually noticed this, and so they actually decide to, talk to Naruto for once, and they ask him where he's going after school. Naruto then says he's going to go train. What else is he going to do? And tells him to shut up now and let him just sleep. Yes, Naruto was actually trying to sleep during lunchtime. He wasn't going to have lunch this week. He goes to school 6 times a week, and 5 times a week, and he only has lunch twice a week. Of course, on the days that he does intense training, he actually has lunch. On the days that he does normal, just normal training, not too intense, he does not have lunch at all, because he doesn't need to. He doesn't need too much energy for it. But anyway, now, of course, Shikamaru and Choji. Shikamaru actually offers Naruto his lunch, and Naruto tells him to go away. He doesn't know why he's talking to him, or what does he want from him. If he wants money, he doesn't have it, and so he has to go away from him. And Shikamaru and Choji then just say that they're not here for money or anything. They're just here to actually just talk to Naruto. And Naruto then asks, why aren't you guys scared of me just like the other villagers? And they ask why should they be scared since Naruto did nothing wrong. And Naruto's like, do you not know the stories about me? And Shikamaru and Choji then say that they know the truth on why Naruto did it all those years ago. And Naruto then asks, who told you? Was it the Hokage? And of course, they say no, it was actually their parents. They actually told them that the truth. And Naruto asked why would they tell you the truth? Well, don't they want you to stay away from me just like the other parents want their kids to? And they say no, not really. They don't hate you at all. In fact, they actually want us to become your friends, since they can see that you're alone most of the times. And it's bad for people to not socialize with others. And Naruto then says, well, just know that it's normal for me to not socialize with anyone. And Naruto is being pretty cold-hearted. He's giving them the cold shoulder. He doesn't really want to talk to them. He just gives them, he has no emotions in his answers. Like, really, literally, it's just him answering questions with words like, oh, how you doing today? Oh, I'm really good. That's how people would say it. But of course, Naruto just says, what about today? And he doesn't really care. But anyways, Naruto never really has any good days. He only does on a good day, Naruto would eat, to be honest. Really, and everyone needs food. And anyways, now, of course, Naruto, who was on his own now, he was actually going to go train. He actually got stopped by Shikamaru's shadow possession jutsu, and Naruto then actually broke out of it real fast. And already behind him, Naruto knows the body flicker, by the way, from all the scrolls that he's actually read. He actually learnt it, and he knows how to use it. He broke through Shikamaru's shadow possession jutsu, and it was actually already behind him with the kunai. And Choji came in with his expansion body, body expansion jutsu, and yes, they're actually, you know, training as well. After all, they do know that Naruto trains on his own. They have seen him multiple times. They really want to become Naruto's friends because, you know, they can see that Naruto doesn't deserve all the hate that he gets, to be honest, and so, you know, they are sympathetic towards Naruto. But anyways, Naruto then asks why they're following him, and you know, they say that they just want to be friends with him, and Naruto then says he doesn't want to have friends, so they should, you know, get away from him. But anyways, now Naruto, who was on his own for all this time, of course, doesn't really know how to treat people, and you know, he used to know how to treat, you know, living beings kindly, but of course, now he doesn't. After all, he is on his own most of the times, and after losing his cat, he never really named her anything. He just called the cat, and you know, Kitty, and basically, you know, now that it's dead, Naruto really has no reason for to be kind. Before, he used to have one to, you know, always be kind to his cat, but now he doesn't care. And anyways, now Naruto, who was actually pretty pissed off at Shikamaru and Choji on why they're following him, and you know, they just keep telling them that they want to be friends. Naruto just gives up and tells them to just do whatever they want. He doesn't care. At this point, he's given up. He doesn't want to waste his time anymore, and he goes off on his training. And they see how intense Naruto's training truly is, and you know, they realize that Naruto not having lunch, and Naruto doesn't even consider this as intense training. You know, not what Naruto considers intense is much harder than this, and you know, they're like, how does Naruto do this? You know, he hasn't even had lunch yet, and you know, he's able to do this. And anyways, of course, now Naruto it just keeps going, and after 4 hours of just training his body, he hasn't trained in any ninjutsus yet. Just takes a break, no breaks, just physical training for 4 hours straight. Of course, now Naruto, who starts training in his jutsus, he's actually trying to learn and wind release jutsu. It's called the wind style wind gale palm, and you know, he hasn't really gotten used to it. He hasn't mastered it at all. He has made no progress in it at all. But anyways, of course, that is because Naruto is not a prodigy like most people are. Well, not most people, my bad. But like, you know, Shikamaru is, and you know, Naruto's chakra control isn't the best, especially because of him not being able to control his chakra properly because of the Naruto's influence. But anyways, of course, he doesn't really care, and he keeps trying. And then, you know, Shikamaru actually gives him a tip and says that he should you know, improve his chakra control, and then it'll be much easier for Naruto to actually, you know, do a jutsu like the wind style with Gale Palm. And you know, Naruto then asks Shikamaru, you know, who if he asked him, and you know, Shikamaru is just like, I don't care if you didn't ask me, I'm just trying to help you. And you know, Naruto just takes the and you know, then Naruto actually realizes that, you know, maybe he should listen. And you know, so he asks, you know, Shikamaru on how to train in chakra control, and Shikamaru gives him a few tips. And Naruto, within 4 days, he's actually been actually mastered, you know, the clone jutsu, and you know, Naruto was able to do it perfectly. And you know, Naruto, for the first time, you know, he had this slight smile on his face. Of course, this was the first time in years, pretty much, that Naruto has smiled. But anyways, of course, now Naruto, who hasn't smiled for years, finally smiled for the first time. But of course, now he doesn't really care. But anyways, he thanks Shikamaru, you know, in a polite way. And you know, Shikamaru and Chori finally see a different side to Naruto. They thought that Naruto was apathetic, he didn't care, he pretty much hated humanity, which he does. But you know, when it comes down to it, Naruto is a kind guy, and you know, he actually decides to treat them out because he's been saving enough money and he can treat people. And you know, they say no because and they tell him that he should go eat on his own. Because you know, he needs it the most, and you know, Naruto says that he needs to show his gratitude, or you know, he'll never accept. Well, they need to accept it because otherwise Naruto will always be in debt with them. And you know, they ask why. It was just a favor that they did, and Naruto then says, once I leave this village, then I won't be able to repay you. You will always be in my mind. That's why I want to repay you now. And they ask why he wants to leave the village, and he says that this village has treated him pretty harsh over the years, and he's had enough. He doesn't really care about it anymore. And also because his cat got killed in this village, he always feels like his cat is haunting him, and that's why he doesn't really want to stay anymore. But then Shikamaru tells him that it's a lie. The people, even if the people hate him, his cat is not haunting him, and plus leaving the village won't get him too far in life, especially because no other villager will really accept him as a ninja. Naruto then explains that he doesn't care if he's a ninja or not. He just wants to be a normal guy. He just doesn't want to be hated by everyone, and there must be other Jinchuriki like him, since there are 9 tailed beasts. Naruto has learned a lot about the Jinchuriki and how all the tailed beasts have a host, which means there are in total 9 Jinchuriki. And Naruto believes that there is somewhere that people actually accept Jinchurikis as saviors. Not that he wants to be considered as a savior, but he just wants to live a peaceful life pretty much. And anyways, this was pretty heartbreaking to hear, but of course this was how Naruto lived his life as. And they understood where Naruto was coming from, but of course they still try convincing Naruto and tell him that this place is not that bad. There are people who don't hate him. And Naruto then says, well, I haven't seen many of them around. And they just tell Naruto not to worry, one day he will find someone that doesn't hate him. And basically Naruto then just tells them to come with him, and they say no, and they just leave, and Naruto now is in debt. And that's something that Naruto does not like to be in, and he's like, god damn it, why did I accept their help? And has the effort. Anyways, now Naruto, for the next 2 years, he actually mastered multi-shadow clone jutsu and a few other jutsus. Of course, he's actually finally made 2 friends. He's come to accept that these 2 will not leave him alone, and so he actually becomes friends with Shikamaru and Choji. But he still treats everyone else pretty dark. Like he treats them really badly. He doesn't care. Whenever they ask him a question, Naruto just ignores them because he still hates humanity as a whole. Of course, he doesn't hate people, who actually show that they aren't as bad as humans as others. Because from what Naruto has seen from the few people that he's ever met, there are only 4 people that Naruto does not. Well, only 6 people, to be honest, that Naruto does not hate because of in the village, not because of in the village. There are a few people that Naruto does not hate, which are the Hokage, Iruka, both Shikamaru and Choji. He hasn't met their parents, so maybe their parents won't hate him, but as of right now, the people that he knows, and also both Ichiraku and his daughter, they don't hate him. Anyways, now Naruto, who has been finally who has been training, not finally, he has been training for a while, and was about to finish the academy, and it was on his last day where he actually met this new transfer student. It wasn't really a transfer student, it was someone who never really joined the academy, and well, of course, she was Tsuki, I'll say Sasuke's sister, and I'll say that she was a prodigy that never really needed to enter the academy in the first place because she was so good. And she actually came here because she finally needed a team. And here I'm going to say that Kiba was actually a year underneath him, underneath Naruto and them, and so she was neglected by her family as well, other than Itachi, because at first when she actually realized that she can learn things really easily, she never really showed it to anyone. And her father, even though I'll say that here she was neglected by her family other than Itachi, even Sasuke never liked her because Sasuke knew that she was such a massive prodigy compared to him, so he never really wanted to pay attention to her because he thought that her being so good at everything and him not being as good as her would affect how their father likes them. And so not Sasuke never liked her. And anyways, so because of this, this actually affected their relationship afterwards. And even the villagers, they weren't really fond of Tsuki. They're just like as much as Sasuke, they actually hate Tsuki a bit more, because Tsuki wasn't really the best of people. She was really cold, and she always gave a cold shoulder to a lot of people. Anyways, of course, uh, now after this, Naruto and Tsuki actually, were put in the same team with Sasuke, and you know, they actually wanted to, Naruto, they wanted to put Naruto in a different team, but then they realized that he wasn't even that bad. They didn't want to put him with the two Chihas, because he don't. They thought that he would affect their improvement, and so they didn't want to put them together. But in reality, Naruto is much, to be honest, he's much better than Sasuke. I wouldn't say Tsuki, because Tsuki was trained by other people, and by Jonin, by other people I mean Jonin, and she wasn't in the same skill level as the others. She is much stronger. She just needed a team. Anyways, of course, Tsuki actually knew about Naruto's past and everything, and how he actually killed someone already, and so she can kind of relate to him, because Naruto has already known the feeling of killing, and this is something that Naruto doesn't really remember much, but he isn't opposed to killing, because remember, he is pretty apathetic, so he doesn't really care. But anyways, of course, Team 7 was waiting, but this time Naruto didn't really care, and actually wanted to, play a little scare, not gonna prank, like literally wanted to scare the hell out of his Jonin team leader. And so Naruto actually sets up a little trap for Kakashi, and as soon as he opens the door, the kunai should go flying right at him, and if he's a Jonin, he should be able to stop the kunai from actually even getting close to him. While if he can't stop it, that means he did not deserve to be a Jonin, since he couldn't even stop one little boogie trap set up by a Genin. Anywho, of course, Sasuke didn't really care. He trusted that the Jonin would be more than capable enough to actually stop Naruto's little joke, and Tsuki really didn't care, and plus she was really trying to avoid eye contact with her brother. But anyways, of course, as soon as Kakashi opened the door 2 hours later, the kunai went flying at him, but then Kakashi caught it with 2 fingers, and Naruto's like, I guess you are a Jonin. And Kakashi at first is well, you're a psycho. Anyways, he still look pretty boring. And anyway, Naruto and Kakashi, sorry, Kakashi takes all of them to the roof and asks them their goals. Then he begins with Naruto. Naruto's goal is to escape the pain and suffering of this village, and so Naruto gives his real answer, saying that he wants to leave this village one of these days and just live off his life somewhere that he's not hated. And Kakashi felt really sad about this, because he knows who Naruto truly is, and he can't really do anything to help him, since he can't of course Naruto already knows about the Nine Tails and everything, but Kakashi can't help Naruto at all. But anyways, of course, now and then it was Tsuki, and Tsuki was really intrigued by Naruto's goal, and she was completely baffled on why he would want to leave the village. After all, it is his home village. But anyways, of course, she kind of understands, at the same time she doesn't, because of Naruto's childhood. But anyways, and now, of course, Naruto Of course, Tsuki's goal, sorry, Sasuke's goal was saying, well, Tsuki really didn't care, and her goal was actually to find her brother and stay with him for as long as possible, and since he was the only one who actually, you know, took care of her and actually gave a damn about her. But anyways, of course, Sasuke was pretty pissed off at this and said, "You don't understand. He killed our parents. Do you not care about them and not?" And then Sukome, Tsuki. You see, this is why I should stop using chips. Anyway, Tsuki then says, "Does it look like I care? No one in that family cared about me, except for Itachi. Do you not understand? Maybe you loved our parents, but I don't care. And Naruto's like, you just shut the hell up. At least you guys had a family. There are people who didn't, and one of them is me. And talking about family just disgusts me. Either you shut up or you get killed." And and Tsuki then is like, "You want to talk? You've already killed people in your life." And Naruto's like, "You got a problem with it?" And Tsuki actually got scared from the glare that Naruto gave off, and Kakashi had to stop this because this could have actually turned out to become an actual fight. And so he says, "Alright guys, it's over for today. Tomorrow we will meet up at this time to have a test. Yes, this will be your the real test to determine if you remain a Genin or not. I'll give you more information tomorrow. Anyways, have a good night's rest, and I'll be going." And he goes off, and Naruto's completely baffled on why there's another test, but he doesn't really care. He just wants to become a good ninja, and then one day just leave the village once he earns enough money. And Tsuki, as always, I get confused because I'm a schmuck. Tsuki, of course, was kind of baffled on why Naruto would even get in their conversation, and so she follows him because she is pretty curious about Naruto. First of all, she's never really seen him around, and she understands that Naruto had pretty much the same childhood as her, pretty much hated by most people, and not neglected by most people other than a few people like the Hokage. She knows that the Hokage actually took care of Naruto. For example, he bailed him out from that murder he committed. By anyways, now of course she was spying on Naruto. Naruto actually didn't notice because Tsuki was pretty good at stealth ninjutsu. By anyways, she sees Naruto training his body, and she remembers Naruto not even having lunch yet, and so she sees Naruto training so hard until the afternoon, and the evening, sorry. And Naruto looked exhausted, and his eyes looked pretty empty at this point, and he actually stopped because he was pretty uh, tired. And Tsuki thought he was going to go eat, but then Naruto starts talking to himself, saying that, "God damn it, I don't have enough money for today." And Naruto is struggling with money since he is saving up quite a bit of money to actually leave the village. Naruto has enough money to eat, but really he doesn't want to use it at all because he really wants to leave this village, and he's trying to save up. And he is completely exhausted. And Tsuki sees this, and she actually hears Naruto talking to himself, saying, "God damn it, today I can't eat either. Oh well, I guess this is the life I have to live. Can't really complain, at least I'm still alive. Can't wait to leave this village. I might be able to have lunch outside." And as Naruto was saying this, he actually then out of exhaustion, since he's been training like this for the past month, not eating anything, yes, only water. He hasn't eaten in a month. Yes, that's actually impressive from Naruto. But anyways, of course, and Tsuki was worried. Even though she didn't really care much about Naruto, she still had a heart, and she saw that Naruto was exhausted. And so as Naruto was falling, she actually caught him, and Naruto then woke up hours later in Tsuki's lap. And Tsuki was just looking down at him, and Naruto asks what's going on. And he wasn't embarrassed at all because he can't really feel any feelings well, Tsuki can, she can, but she doesn't really care about this. This isn't something that would fluster her. But now of course Naruto, Tsuki explains that she was actually spying on Naruto, and then he, out of exhaustion and hunger, he must have, you know, fainted. He fainted, and Naruto then says, "Oh, thank you. I guess I've got to repay you. Do you wanna go get something to eat?" And Tsuki's like, "I think you should get something to eat. In fact, I got you something." And Tsuki actually got Naruto some food, and Naruto didn't accept it. Remember, Naruto still owes Shikamaru and Shoji for the things that they did, and so he does not wanna get in debt anymore. And so he tells Tsuki that you know he he can't accept it, and Tsuki's like, "If you think you'll have to pay me back, you don't need to. Don't worry about that. I'm not that kind of person." And basically, Naruto's like, "It's not that you're not that kind of person. I just don't wanna. You'll just be in my mind forever." And Tsuki then asks Naruto why he wants to leave the village, and basically, Naruto actually tells Tsuki because Tsuki, at least Naruto can do this for Tsuki, since Tsuki did help him, and even offered him food, and yes, Naruto's eating now. And Naruto explains why he wants to leave the village because everyone hates him, no one really liked him. Okay, there are a few people who actually don't mind him. There are only 6 that he knows of right now, and he doesn't believe that there are any other. And basically, Tsuki then says, "Well, you can add 7 now." And Naruto's like, "What do you mean?" And Tsuki's like, "I don't hate you. You don't seem to be a hateful person at all." And Naruto asks why, and basically Tsuki then says, "After hearing your story, it seems that the villager deserved to die. After all, attacking you for no reason and then killing your cat, he deserved it." And Tsuki really, Tsuki actually had a fancy for cats. She really liked cats. But anyways, of course, after hearing Naruto's story, she actually felt a bit sadder for Naruto, since she treated him kind of badly, in the academy, since she was having a little argument with her brother, and basically Naruto kind of died in the first place. But anyways, now of course Naruto tells Tsuki that they shouldn't ever talk to each other ever again, and Tsuki then says, "You know something, I might leave too." And Tsuki and Naruto actually raises an eyebrow and says, "Why?" And Tsuki's like, "Well, you see, unlike my brother, this village hasn't treated me that well either. So I don't really have many things to do in this village. Might as well just leave with you." And Naruto then says, "But why with me? Out of all people, you can leave on your own, And Tsuki then says, "Maybe it's just because you're the first person I've heard that wants to leave the village forever." And Naruto's like, "I guess I am. You don't hear this too often, do you now?" And Tsuki's like, "Exactly." Anyways, of course, the next day they all meet up where Kakashi tells them to meet up. Of course, he comes late as usual, but it's fine. Naruto doesn't eat anyway, and so he's used to being starved. But anyways, of course, the bell test begins with everyone actually spreading out. Naruto actually knowing how to fight for once, and he doesn't want to get caught by Kakashi or anything like that. He doesn't want to be the one to get destroyed by Kakashi. He actually wants to be the one to put up a fight against Kakashi. But anyways, of course, everyone is hidden now, and Kakashi is just reading his book, and this kind of provokes Sasuke the most out of everyone, not Naruto, not Tsuki, because Sasuke is kind of short-tempered as usual, or he's not really short-tempered, but compared to these two who don't really care about anything, he's really short-tempered compared to these two. Anyways, of course, they've been waiting for like 20 minutes, and no one's made a move, and so Sasuke's had enough, and he's like, "Alright, and if no one's gonna make a move, I'll do it." And Naruto's like, "That idiot, schmuck." And Naruto was actually about to make a move himself. He was actually going to attack Kakashi with a plethora of ninjutsu with his clones, and kunais as well, with explosive tags. And even Tsuki was about to attack soon, And anyways, now of course Sasuke attacks first and kind of gets destroyed. Naruto and Tsuki see how strong Kakashi is, and Tsuki actually goes near Naruto and tells Naruto that this is a test of teamwork. She just realized, and Naruto's like, yeah, I can see he's too hard to beat on yeah, on a 1v1. I guess we'll have to work together. And Tsuki's like, alright, it's not my style, but I guess I'll try. And Naruto's like, don't blame me for getting your way. And well, and basically then so Tsuki says the same thing, and Naruto actually begins the attack by using all of his clones, using every single kunai that he had, and attacks Kakashi with them, and all of them had paper bombs on it and on them, and of course Kakashi was able to dodge it, but then Tsuki came in with a fireball jutsu, and Kakashi was like, teamwork, and he was confused on how these guys were even using teamwork, since yesterday they just had a fight, and anyways, he doesn't really care. He's just happy that they're actually using some kind of brain cells, and realizing that Kakashi is impossible to beat on a 1v1, on a one-on-one fight, especially since they're getting, they do not have enough chakra, chakra or resources, or ninjutsu to actually even get close to beating Kakashi. But anyways, of course, well, you could make the argument that Naruto has more chakra, but anyways, now of course Tsuki comes in with a fireball jutsu, which Kakashi was able to deflect easily, and Naruto actually comes in with a he actually comes in with a water shockwave, which then creates steam with the fireball, and the water actually collide, because Kakashi was able to dodge the fireball, but not the but he couldn't dodge the actual water shockwave, and anyway, the water and the fire collided and they created steam, which then Tsuki activated her 2 Tomoe Sharingan. Yes, only 2, and Sasuke was still in the fight, and he activates his 1 Tomoe Sharingan and gets into the fight, and all of 3 of them, well, both of them were actually fighting in some kind of synchronized in some kind of sync, but Kakashi was able to take both of them out, and Naruto was actually the last one standing, and Naruto realizes that Tsuki is still able to fight while Sasuke is kinda exhausted, but he tells him that he'll be the diversion and they'll take the bells. He doesn't care if he passes or not, he just doesn't want to lose to him, and Naruto tells them that they only have a minute left, so this has to be fast, and so Naruto actually goes on the offensive and actually gets out something that he's been hiding, and he gets out his scrolls, and chains come out of them, and these chains wrap around all of Naruto's body, and Naruto has chains everywhere, and the chains even touch the floor. That's how long they are, and Naruto begins the fight. It's actually a taijutsu fight at first, and Naruto is actually doing really well, which actually impresses Kakashi quite a bit, and Kakashi is like, very nice, someone knows how to fight, and of course Tsuki knew how to fight. Sasuke was kinda slacking, but well, since he's compared to these two now, and Naruto here is a lot stronger. And anyways, now of course Kakashi wasn't expecting Naruto to be this good, but Naruto wasn't done. Naruto actually had the lightning release, remember, Naruto actually added lightning release to his chains, so if the chains actually touched Kakashi, which Naruto was able to do before, they would actually electrocute Kakashi, and Kakashi actually realized this, and so he actually started dodging a lot more, and Naruto's like, finally understood, huh? And Kakashi's like, pretty impressive, but do you really think that's going to be enough to beat me? And Naruto's like, nope. And Kakashi's like, huh? And Naruto then actually stomps on the ground, and does another water a water shockwave, which then the water and the lightning actually come in contact and electrocute Kakashi and both Naruto. Naruto didn't get electrocuted at all because of him actually engulfing himself with lightning release, which led to him not suffering any damage, and Kakashi suffered most of the damage, but he turned into as he was about to turn into a log of wood, both Sasuke and Tsuki came in to take the bells, and Kakashi realized that he lost, and Naruto's like, alright then, I guess these two passed. I'll be going now. Take care. And Naruto actually was about to leave straight away after the fight, and his chains, he actually put them back into the scroll, into the two scrolls. And anyways, of course, Kakashi then says, Naruto, I haven't told you that this test is not only about teamwork, but whenever you use teamwork, even if you didn't get the bells, all of you would have passed. Naruto knew it was about teamwork, but of course he still thought that with teamwork that the two of them would have to get the bells, and one of them would have had to be left out, and that's what he thought at first. Even Tsuki and Sasuke thought of that, after actually Sasuke actually finding out about this being a test of teamwork. But anyways, of course, now Naruto then says, so you're saying I passed her, and Kakashi's like, exactly, so you don't have to leave. And Naruto's like, to be honest, I wouldn't know even mind leaving. And Kakashi's like, why is that? And Naruto's like, just a drag. And after this, Kakashi then says that tomorrow they have to come to in front of the Hokage's office, and they will get the first hour mission, and it has to be on 8 o'clock sharp. While of course, now Naruto actually was heading to the to sorry, Naruto was actually heading towards the forest that he usually trains in, until Tsuki actually pulled him, grabbed him, and took him with her. And Naruto asked Tsuki what's going on, and Tsuki then says that she will actually he will eat with her today. And Naruto's like, why are you doing this now? And Tsuki then says, listen, you help me pass, so I'll treat you. And Tsuki actually wants to become friends with Naruto, pretty much. That's what she's trying to do, especially because him and Naruto, well, her and Naruto actually relate quite a bit, especially because of their ideals. And Tsuki realizes that maybe leaving the village is not the best choice. She has actually thought back to this, and she wanted to tell Naruto that there could be people who do not hate him. And she actually was skeptical about leaving the village at first, and she actually, after hearing Naruto's story, she realized that they're really similar. They got both neglected, and so they could just remain in the village together, and they could just build a life together. Of course, Tsuki does not have a crush on Naruto at all, as right now. But anyways, of course, that will develop over time. But anyways, hope you all enjoyed it. And this is where I'm gonna end off. It's been 52 minutes, and it's actually, the time is, if I can fucking check, 3:42 a.m. and I'm going to go sleep. Hope you all enjoyed it. Please take care, stay safe, and this was the King of Weaves here, and I just got my first few sales on Beautiful Halo. I'm really gassed about that. And don't forget to get your good quality anime merch from there. Use my link in the bio, or in the description, or in the bio, and you can support the channel. Also, don't forget to subscribe to Ratreet, Miniman123. Also, subscribe to my second channel, The King of Noobs. You already know. And also, my friend Hxmesh. And one last thing, I follow Shoker on Instagram, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And my ducklings, you're dismissed. Good night, peace, take care, stay safe. Have a nice holiday.